filming a
water balloon fight.
Yeah. Fun little video for National Water Balloon Day, which is coming soon. So for some social media content, making a little, also just for, I don't know, some fun shooting, definitely.
I actually assumed that Tristan suggested this idea just so he could throw water balloons at me.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He didn't deny it.
He just laughed.
I ain't in it for the money, I ain't in it for the fame, I ain't in it for the accolades. Tryna tell me what a vision of the riches and the women, I ain't with it, tell them not today. Try to separate the crew, but the truth is I did it. Got the same vision, so you know we stay winning. Some of y'all chasing recognition, not me, I do it for the love, yeah. Yeah, I do it for the love.
You ready to get hit in the face with a balloon?
Dude, I've been training for this all my life.
Only we had a
Gym class bullies prepared me for this in gym class.
Only we had a Phantom.
Did you get pelted with water balloons in gym class a lot?
I got pelted with
dodgeballs.
Dodgeballs. But they weren't the
Me
red
too.
ones, they were like the really soft, squishy ones, so they really had to throw them hard.
The first
I
victim.
was gonna say, you might not want your glasses
Yeah,
on
I'm
here.
gonna put them over here.
From the
Should've
interface
worn
on
white.
here.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you gotta.
What's up, vlog? Noah here. We were at a house tour in Grundy Center on Dave. D-Ave. Call it Dave. It's funny. It's a really nice morning for a house tour. Sky's nice and blue with some puffy clouds. Tristan, I think, is getting started on some photos. I'm just balancing the running right here. And we're gonna get started. It's gonna be a good day. It's nice out.
How's it going, Tristan?
It's going great, yeah. Just arrived at the house here. Take some pictures of the outside first, kind of like we always do, and then work our way inside and see what it looks like.
Sweet.
You got me, I'm playing. I don't wanna stay, but get out of your way. I guess it's okay, 'cause we both know it's my fault anyway. I don't wanna stay, but get out of your way. It's not okay, I don't think I can take another day.
We got a friend there, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not okay, I don't think I can take another day.
Good morning, vlog. We are right now down in Coralville. We are about to go into Fuzzy's Tacos to shoot some photos as well as some B-roll of all of their tacos and drinks and stuff like that. We had to leave early this morning, around 7 o'clock, because we have to get everything done by about 2 or so. So there's a lot of photos we have to shoot and a lot of video to capture, all in a short amount of time. We got a lot of lighting gear here, and we are gonna head in right now to see if they're all set up and ready for us yet.
I feel excited. I mean, we've never really done food-related things. We've always talked about wanting to, so it's a first in this. Well, no, we did a few food things, but this is like our first like big kind of food-related shoot and everything. So we're excited for that. Yeah, so, and I love tacos. So, I mean, who doesn't? That's probably the most basic thing I've ever said. Sorry, I've never been to Fuzzy's, but I always like thought it was cool. I mean, I've only taco kind of restaurant. You don't have a lot of those, so excited to do some more food photography and stuff. And yeah.
You have anything to add?
Feeling hungry. Let's go. Fuzzy's Friday.
I swear I like your style. Put you in Chanel 'cause it's just perfect for your smile. Girl, I swear for you I run the world, I'd run the miles. The way you look at me, I think I'm going insane. It's crazy how we started out to what the love you can't. You need me, say my name. Don't ever hesitate. It's 2 a.m. outside when I'm with you.
It's 4 o'clock right now. We're finishing up just a few little exterior shots and then a few interior shots, and then we should be good to go and heading back home. We didn't do a ton of video today. We did some video of all this stuff, but we do have to come back and shoot some other videos too, lifestyle stuff, different things like that. So good shoot overall. A lot of good food, a lot of good looking drinks. I didn't drink any of them, but they look good. And I'm really excited for what kind of comes from all this media that we captured today.
You got me going crazy, stone cold up on my blood.
We just got done at Fuzzy's Tacos for a shoot, product shoot of. Feels like all their food. I don't think it was, but
No, it wasn't. It was a lot of food.
it was a lot of food, a lot of drinks, a lot of fun.
Those breakfast tacos, though.
Yeah, that was a good end.
We will be coming back down to shoot video, and we will be capturing more footage at that time. I don't know. You might be gone by then, though.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
bummer.
I mean, if you want to come down and just hang out, you can.
Alright,
We can let you know.
okay.
Was not really.
What does it mean to have a video that tells a good story?
Telling a good story inherently means that it follows the story structure. And I mean, there's different ways that you can deviate from that, and that's effective, and a lot of stories do that, but I think most stories kind of have to have a concise beginning and a concise end, like something where it just makes sense to start it that way and to end it that way. And especially in marketing, I think of the way I like to tell stories is probably pretty standard and not cliche, but just like a classic way to tell the story, where you establish what it is that you're talking about, whether it's like via a drone shot or like a wider sort of shot that you can take in an image and an idea, and then you kind of end a similar way to kind of wrap that up and say, hey, this is what you were talking about, I guess. So like I think for me a story is just a video that has clear structure, that goes from, okay, so here's this one place, we're going to this next thing, and labeling a story that way can apply across a bunch of different videos. It can apply across doing weddings, it can apply across doing event videos, it can apply across doing commercials or any sort of thing. I think having a beginning, a middle, and an end, as simple as it sounds, is like one of the most effective ways to have a story. I mean, an example of something that wouldn't necessarily have as strong of a story is you had an event video that just kind of had highlights and highlighted clips of what went on that day. I think you could just as easily, instead of like, oh, this clip goes here and put it here, drag and drop here, you put a little bit more thought into it and kind of tell a story by grouping things together, or saying, hey, like, this is what happened at the beginning of this event, and here's a section of a bunch of people having fun doing this, and sort of things. That's very specific, but yeah, just having a structure, I think, is, to me, having a story. And should you plan that out ahead of time? Sure, but you don't even necessarily have to. I mean, it can just come in the edit, in terms of just kind of where you put things and stuff like that. And that to me is what a story is, I guess.
Okay, cool. And if someone would fail to clearly show that structure, what can that do to like your audience or your overall video?
Just lose interest, mostly. I think kind of having a general flow of things just allows the audience member to kind of follow things along and sort of understand what's going on with the video, rather than them just seeing a bunch of like, oh, this footage is nice looking and stuff like that, but paired next to this other clip, it doesn't mean as much to me, or it just kind of becomes repetitive and boring and the same sort of thing over and over again. But if you have a structure to it, people can kind of follow along and kind of put their own chain of events together and sort of their own idea of what happened that day, and it also can establish an experience from that thing that if you're marketing something, makes the audience member want to partake in that. And if you have sure, if you have clips of things that are cool, like an audience member could see that and still be just as possibly effectively, impacted by that, but not as many people, follow a structure that way. I would say, like, I think there has to be some sort of structure to it, and then basically you're just kind of, showing your audience what the ride is and taking them along for that. I think it's just more effective, and people will pay attention more.
Yeah.
I would say so.
So yeah, you kind of answered why it's so important, I guess, too. So
Yeah.
and then so I guess that leaves, what are some key components or necessities in a video in order to better communicate a story? So you mentioned like structure.
Mhm. Yeah, so having a structure, and I think having an idea of, I keep going back to event videos. I don't know why. I think that's just something that we do a lot here that is really easy to put a story together with. But even outside of that, like more commercial or documentary based things, just having an idea of what it is exactly that you're capturing beforehand, and then the story just kind of forms itself as you're shooting it, I think. Some other really good components to have are just a variety of shots. That's like a big thing, because if your footage all looks the same, again, it's just kind of going to be kind of repetitive and boring. So, having, wider drone shots, or just wide shots, close-up shots, slow-mo shots.
Just the variety, so you can piece them together.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you can recall, what is your favorite story you've ever told through video?
Ooh, one that initially comes to mind was the two of the tree videos, the tree farm videos that we did for Tombow and 1-3 Design. We did them as kind of a way to show life outside of the engineering world and stuff like that, and kind of what they do and kind of how it relates to that. So I think I really enjoyed that, because it was an out-of-the-box way to tell a story about them. They do engineering and design work for tractors and agriculture sort of equipment, and so it just kind of made sense to tell a story of them doing those sort of things outside of the office, though, and less as part of a job and more of a hobby. And I think it kind of attested to their character and their nature as just people. And I think that's one of the more relatable ways that you can tell a story, is to make people just feel human and real, and not like, oh, super boxy, like I'm gonna read you this really scripted line that I'm writing right now. So we went out and documented them tending to their tree farm out in Cloutier, Iowa, which is like an hour south of here. And it's just like a big couple, I don't know how many acres, but a couple acres of trees that they've planted, and they tend to and chop down when they need to. And their goal is to, have this grow over, hundreds of years and be like a self-sustaining kind of forest, and provide wood and resources and nature to this area, I guess. And so that was really cool to go out there, and the only really idea that we had was just to go out there, get some footage, get some interviews, and then the story came afterwards, and it ended up being this really peaceful, meditative, and I think even to the surprise of the client, they were like, wow, this is actually like really like laid back from what they thought, I think. And I don't know if I think we might have kind of changed the direction from that a little bit, but personally I really liked that first version, because it told this really like almost like nature kind of documentary story of these three dudes out in the middle of the snow, chainsawing trees to sort of prune them and make them healthier. And I don't know how to, like, it was something I'd never really done before, but it was like really cool, kind of felt like a documentary. And through the interviews and the B-roll, we're able to tell a really cool story of just like kind of like a very human story, I guess, in relation to what the content was actually supposed to be doing, which was, kind of to sell the idea of 1-3 Design as like this company, but in a kind of out of the box way. So that was a really long-winded answer of saying, yeah, the tree farm video, if you haven't seen that. And the second one that we did too was really fun too, because it was less cold, but also I got to do a lot more drone stuff for that, and that was also like a really cool thing to put together. So
Cool.
yeah,
Well, that's all I got for
Yeah.
you. So
yeah,
thanks for chatting.
of course, yeah. Thanks for the questions. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
always fun to talk about that. So.